Well, hello everybody, it's Suffolk Andy here and
Suffolk Amy!
And today we're doing a little investigation at
St Mary's at Langham.
Langham. It's a little bit different, this church. It's down a private road through a gate that opens and closes for you as you come through. It's very nice. We've never been here before. We have access to the church as well, it's open. And we're going to do a little investigation, see what we can pick up today.
Yep. We are surrounded by horses.
Yes.
I can see a horse rider right at this very moment.
Yeah.
So you may hear a few neighs and whinnies, but that's okay.
And there is a slight drone of the A12. We're very close to the A12, and there's a drone in the distance. So I hope it doesn't affect it too much. And it's a bit windy, and it's bitterly cold.
It's very cold.
Very
right
cold.
now.
Okay then. So let's get on with
The investigation.
Right, we just came inside the church, and just a second ago there were some weird noises, really weird noises. We hadn't got the camera on. I wish we had, but it was weird, wasn't it? It was like a groan, like groan.
I thought it was your stomach.
Yeah, it's like
That's
a stomach.
what it was, yeah.
That hasn't done it since. I wish we'd had the camera on.
That was weird. Well, hello there, my name is Amy, and I am talking to any spirit beings or guardians, people who are not of this realm.
Did it spin?
Yeah, my hand like jolted. It was,
Thank you very much.
I didn't even finish what I was
No.
asking. Okay. Could you put these rods out straight again, please? If that was you, can you make them face forward? Can you push them around so they're facing forward, please? So weird. It's like they're locked in place.
Put them back down and then put them straight again.
Right, I've straightened them again now, and I bet you can't do the same thing that you did before. I bet you can't. They're wobbling. They're both wobbling.
Can you make them cross, please? Can you make both rods cross, please? So we know you're here.
That's one of them.
That's one. Can you make the other one, please? Can you make the other one cross? Just a bit more, please. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. So we know you're here now. Can you make them go straight, please? Can you make them both go straight? If you want us to leave, because we're a nuisance, can you make them go straight and we'll leave? If you make them go straight, we will leave the church. If you don't want us to leave, if you don't want us to go, will you put them straight, please? Can you put them straight, please? Thank you very much. Can you make the other one go straight as well, please? I think what we'll do, Amy, we'll call it a day in here for a bit, and we'll try outside. Okay? There's definitely something here.
Yeah.
But I don't think it wants to play with us. You know what I mean? Right, we've moved out to the graveyard. We're going to try the days and rods out here. If these don't work, then we'll try the crystal and see if we can get some hits with that. So here we go. Get these right. If there's any spirits in this graveyard who'd like to come and talk to us, we'd really appreciate that. We come with love and peace. And if you're here, if you can cross these days and rods, we can have interaction with you from your realm to ours. If you could come here, please, and talk to us, we'd really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Can you put these rods out straight, please? Can you put these rods out straight? I really would appreciate that. If you could put them out straight, then I can ask you some more questions and we can get to know you. Thank you very much. Can I ask you, are you a man? Was you a man in your mortal life? Was you a man? If you was, will you cross these rods? Was you a woman? Was you a woman in your life? Was you a woman? If you was a woman, will you cross these rods, please? If you was a woman, thank you very much. Thank you. Can you put them straight, please, so I can ask you another question? Can you put them straight so I can ask you another question, please? Now I know that you're a lady, a woman. Are you buried in this churchyard? Are you laid to rest in this churchyard? If you are, will you cross these rods, please? Can you cross these rods, please? If you're laid to rest in this churchyard, so we can find out who you are, try and find out who you are, and find your name. Can you cross them again, please? I know you're trying. Thank you very much. That's lovely. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Can you put them forward, please? Thank you very much. I'm attracted to a grave myself. I want to find out where you're laid to rest. Can you point to where you're laid to rest with these rods, please? Can you point these rods to where you're laid to rest? Right, thank you very much. Now, when I walked in here earlier, I was attracted to a grave, and I'm standing just beside it. It's the second grave in there. Two young girls. Right. Can I ask you, are you one of the daughters of Joseph? Are you one of the daughters of Joseph? If you are, will you cross these rods? Daughters of Joseph Downey, will you cross these rods if you are, please? The daughters of... thank you very much. Thank you. Right, I'm just going to move, and I'm going to stand by your grave, I think. Can you cross these rods if I'm standing beside Mary and Susan Downs? Is that the right one?
Yep.
Downs. Can you cross these rods, please? Thank you very much. Thank you. Can you make them go straight, please? Can you make them go straight? Thank you very much. By reading your epitaph on your graves, you died very young, 16 and 18. Are you both here, or is there only one? So, is Mary, am I talking to Mary? If I'm talking to Mary, will you cross these rods, please? Is it Deborah? Downs? Deborah? Oh, that's the wind. I think that's the wind, Amy.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh, no, that's not, I don't think. Thank you very much. I'm talking to Deborah. Can I ask you, when you passed over, did you pass over from a disease? Did you pass over from a disease that came through the village? Or did you pass over from an illness that you had? If you passed over from an illness, will you please cross these rods? Right, what I'm going to do now is take over the camera and let Amy talk to these two young girls.
Hello there. Talking to Mary and Susan Downs. You are the daughters of Joseph and Deborah Downs. If either of you want to talk to me, can you cross these rods, please? Make them form an X if you want to talk to me.
Sorry about the background of the idiots trying to get into a car.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that was the wind that started that.
Yeah, it's getting very windy.
It is very windy. Right, so if you are Mary, if I'm speaking to Mary, can you uncross these rods, please? Can you make them face out straight? Are you Mary?
Yeah.
So it's Mary. Is Susan here too? Susan, can you cross the rods if you're here? I think it's just Mary. Is Joseph here, out of interest? Joseph, are you here as well? Whoa. That was big. Right, so Joseph, just to confirm that you are here too, could you point the rod that you moved out straight, please? Can you make it go straight like the other one? Can you do that if you're here, Joseph? Just so we know who we're talking to. Yeah? So Joseph's here too. Deborah? Deborah, are you here too?
I got a Deborah, didn't I?
Have we got sort of most of the family? To confirm, Deborah, if you were here, can you put both the rods out straight, please? Just because it's very windy, it's hard to tell. Can you straighten them if you're here, Deborah? Just trying to straighten, the wind's going the other way. Yeah? Right, so we've got, just so I'm very sure, can you all work together to cross the rods if we have Mary, Joseph and Deborah? Can you all work together to cross the rods over one another, please? Big cross if it's all three of you. Yeah, this is multiple, it's all three.
All three.
Wow, just Susan's not here. So can one of you put the rod straight, please? Any one of you who wants to. Can you just put that one out straight like the other one? So I can ask you some more questions. So windy.
What we do, we'll give it a rest and see if this wind drops a little bit.
Yeah.
We know what we've got here, so we can come back. We will come back as soon as this wind drops.
Yeah.
The wind, we're not 100% sure if that's affecting the days and rods. We got a little bit of response in the porch, but we thought we'd come back and try the crystal. So let's get this ready. Get it to spin. Right, Mary, Joseph and Deborah, I have a crystal here that is spinning. I'd love you to come and stop this crystal. Straight away. Thank you very much. This might be a little bit easier for us to communicate with you with this crystal. If it is, will you spin this crystal for me, please? Will you spin this crystal for me? I'm trying to keep my hands as steady as I can. Can you spin the crystal, please? Thank you very much. That's lovely, a lovely spin there. Thank you, I really appreciate that. Can you stop it so I can ask you a question? Thank you. We're not 100% sure if Susan is with you as well. Can you spin this crystal? If Susan is here, will you spin this crystal? If Susan is not here, will you spin this crystal, please? Susan's not here.
Right.
Spin the crystal if Susan is not here. It seemed a bit... Oh, it's going side to side, look.
Oh.
Look at that. Look at that.
They're moving it between them.
I don't know. Can you stop the crystal, please? Thank you. It must have been for you, Deborah and Joseph, quite a traumatic thing to lose two daughters at such young ages. And I can not appreciate, but I can feel that pain that you must have felt. Did they both die of the same illness? If they both died of the same illness, will you please spin this crystal? So they died of two different illnesses. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Can I ask you, was it some sort of epidemic? What do they call it?
Epidemic, yeah.
Epidemic? Was it a sweating fever? Did they have a fever? They had fevers and they died with you spin. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Joseph, can you stop the crystal for me, please? Thank you. Now, you died at the age of 36. If that's right, will you spin the crystal, please? You died at 36. Will you spin the crystal, please? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Can you stop the crystal, please? Did you die of the same illness as your daughters? Did you have the same illness? If you did, will you spin this crystal? Can you spin it more, please? If you had the same illness as your daughters? Sort of not and sort is.
Similar illness?
Similar sort of illness with a fever. Can I ask you, all three of you, can you see us standing by your graves? Can you see us standing by your graves? If you can, will you spin my crystal, please? Can you spin the crystal if you can see us? Oh, that's great. Thank you. We know you can hear us. Can you stop the crystal, please? I'm going to get my dowsing rods out and I'm going to ask you where you're standing. Right, so I've got the dowsing rods out. Can you point these rods to where you all three are standing, please? Can you point these rods to where you're all standing talking to us? Can you move them, please, to where you're all standing? Can you point these rods to where you're standing, please, so we know where you are? Can you please? We're trying to go that way.
Right.
Like sort of here. I have to ask all three of you a sincere question. Are you all happy to be in this churchyard? Are you happy to stay here? If you're happy, all three of you, will you cross these rods? If you're happy to be here. If you're unhappy to be here and want to go to the light, will you cross these rods, please?
Wind is moving that way.
Yeah, a bit windy. Can you move these rods if you would like to leave this graveyard? If it's no concern of mine or yours that you're quite happy here, will you cross these rods? You cross these rods if you're quite happy to stay here without any interference by anybody.
It's inching, but it's weird. I feel like there's multiple answers happening at once.
Yeah, right. Mary, if you're happy to stay in this graveyard, will you cross these rods? Mary, if you're happy to stay here, will you cross these rods? Susan's not here, is she?
No.
Deborah, if you're happy to stay in this graveyard, will you cross these rods, please, Deborah? If you're happy to stay here.
Every single time that you say her name, I get such a warmth in my back.
Yeah.
Every time.
Joseph, if you're happy to stay here in this graveyard, cross these rods. Cross these rods. If I don't get an answer, I won't be able to help you.
Because it depends on how close Mary and Susan were, if she would rather be with her sister or not. I don't know. Or maybe it's a case of they're all here, so it would be easier for them to get Susan back. So they're like, no, we just want her back. I don't know.
Mary, can I ask you a question? This will be the last question I ask of you. Would you like to go over and be with Susan? If you would, can you cross these rods, please? Can you cross these rods if you would like to go over and be with Susan?
It's inching. It's inching. That's what I mean. It seems like there's so many different answers. It's getting there. Can you move the other one as well, please, if that's okay? Can you try and do a big cross? Because we've got to be sure that you did answer that. That's the wind.
Mary, can I ask you that question once more, using these days and rods? Would you like to cross over and be with Susan? If so, will you cross these rods, please? Will you cross these rods, please? Would you like to go over? Cross over to the spirit world. Will you cross these rods, please? Deborah, if you want to go to the spirit world, we want to be crossed over. Cross these rods now, please. Can you please cross these rods if you would like to go and leave this graveyard? Joseph, if you'd like to leave this graveyard and pass over to the spirit world, cross these rods. There's a hesitance all about this. I think we've got three different people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Different. Some, I think one want to go, two don't. Right. I asked you all for the very last time. Are you happy to be in this graveyard? If you are, cross these rods, please. Cross these rods. There's movement on them.
Yeah.
That's not the wind. Right, with that, I leave you with love and peace and all the best. We may come back another day and speak to you. I hope you don't mind, and I give you rest. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, we've come to the end of our investigation. This was a strange one.
Yeah.
It looks like we had a family of 4 and 3
Three were still here.
and 3 were still here. Very strange. They'd been here a very long time.
Yeah.
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 A mother and father and one daughter had gone. We asked them, didn't we, if they wanted to go over.
Yeah.
And we never really got an answer. It was all over the place.
I think they were just unsure.
Unsure. I think one of them wanted to go, but I think 2 of them didn't.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of that? Do you think that's the right summary of that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So I decided that we wouldn't play anymore, you know, trying to sort it out because it was complicated. Yeah, what do I think of this place? Yes, certainly stuff here. This is active.
It's a strange energy in the church.
Yeah.
Not sure about that. Don't know what it is. We both heard a voice actually earlier.
Oh God, yeah.
Off camera, we weren't filming anything, and I was in the church, and you were outside of the church,
outside,
and we
just
heard
here.
the same voice. It was like a, huh?
Yeah. Huh?
Like,
that was a woman?
What? Yeah.
It was a woman.
woman's
Yeah, it was a
voice,
woman.
Definitely.
And I actually was standing just outside this porch, and I heard it, and Amy comes out and go, "I've just heard a voice," and I said, "Yeah, so have I."
Yeah.
Yeah. So
strange
Yeah.
on that.
Very strange.
Yeah.
So with that, we finish the investigation, and it's goodbye from
Suffolk Amy.
Suffolk Andy, and stay
Stay spooky,
spooky.
everyone.
Yes, thank you. Bye. If there's anybody here from the spirit world who'd like to talk to us, we come with love and peace.
A lot of people who are alive at the moment constantly ask the question of, is there life after death? Do you know the answer to that?